Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from day 2 of the Singapore Fintech Festival. Joining me for this segment, we have Yujun Lin. He is the head of product management of equities at the Singapore Exchange. And we're going to talk about emerging Asia, how it's set to lead global economic growth. Yujun, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks now. Emerging Asia has been a big theme at the Fintech Festival, how it's continuing to lead global economic growth.
Well, I guess, the trade war has been dominating headlines for the past 2 years. And despite the increased volatility, we've seen that the markets are reasonably resilient and efficient. And we think that, there continues to be tremendous opportunity in China. And this is what our clients are also telling us. They're telling us that the increased inflow of capital into China will continue as China continues to open up its markets to the world and integrate into the global economy. At the same time, because Chinese equities are increasingly included in global benchmark indices, on the back of that, we also expect to see new inflows and new opportunities in the market in China.
All right, now the Singapore Exchange, you've merged your cash equity business and your equity derivative businesses together. What's the strategy behind that, and what are some of the synergies that you can bring to your customers?
So if you go back 5 years, or even 10 years, we spent all that time until now building 2 very international, very high quality platforms for investors around the world. The first of which will be our stock market. Today we are basically one of the most global exchanges in the world. 40% of our companies come from overseas. And our equity derivatives business is even more international. And we see a lot of flows into our Pan-Asian product suite. And I think these days we are responding to investor demand for emerging Asia. For example, we will be listing the MSCI Vietnam futures in December. And we think that this will give investors access to a very exciting, very fast-growing economy, which is Vietnam. At the same time, it gives them an avenue in which to hedge their risks if they are already onshore.
All right, now to wrap up here, daily leverage certificates or DLCs, that was one of Singapore Exchange's recent innovations. Can you explain to us what that is and then what's next?
So we're particularly proud of the DLCs. We think that it is a way to give investors what we call healthy or good leverage. So unlike traditional leverage products, the DLCs gives you leverage on the upside, but at the same time, the downside is protected by an option style premium buy-in. At the same time, there is also an airbag mechanism that protects you from incurring too much losses too fast in case the market moves strongly against you. So we really think that we've given investors kind of like a best of all worlds product.
Right. And what can we expect next? What other products are you working on?
Okay. So I would say that the ESG, or environmental, social and governance theme, has been really hot and really topical recently. And we think that this is a great thing because I'm not sure if if you go back 10 years or almost 10 years, we were one of the first exchanges in the world to require ESG reporting from our listed companies. So 10 years on, we are really glad that the investing world has kind of woken up and decided that this is a really important thing, and we are fully supporting. And we think that by listing futures and options, equity derivatives, around ESG thematics will allow the momentum to continue strongly. At the same time, it will give investors kind of like a product ecosystem around the traditional risk management and market access tools that they were already used to having in normal equity investing.
Thank you so much for joining me on Trade Talks. And thank you for joining us from the Singapore Fintech Festival. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.